What's up, y'all? Shuffle, and today's video is reviewing the Darkest Dungeon Reddits. And wait a minute, this is my Reddit. I have a subreddit. Oh my god, shameless plug. I'm kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. Join it. Alright, so there's been some stuff going on the Darkest Dungeon Reddits. It's basically just a meme war, and it's a very funny one, but it's about Berserk Mask, and we're gonna do a little history, give you some background here so you're in the loop, and then I'll give my thoughts on Berserk Mask itself, because some people are taking this seriously. But yeah, so thanks to Pepper for helping me out here, because, you know, he was a big part of it, but also just give me the history. And this is how it started. I'm not playing the audio, because no DMCA, but this is the frickin' Revengeance meme of standing here, I realize. I don't know the rest of that song, but yeah, so. This dude, Berserk Mask Hater, this just seems like a total meme account made specifically for this purpose, began with this. And so, it talks about Berserk Mask and why they hate it, you know, the downsides and all that, and it really just got overblown. And it's funny because, you know, this is just a set of memes, right? Like, this is all just funny stuff. And everyone, for the most part, understands that, but some people are taking it seriously, which is a bit unfortunate. But then Pepper came back with this, and this is how it started, basically. It came from Discord, is what he told me. But I believe this is Revengeance. Yeah, it's Raiden, so it's like the same kind of thing. It's the exact same meme, but with this instead. So this is how it went. And we'll talk about Berserk Mask in a bit. But so with the common rebuttals and complaints for both sides are what are being displayed in these videos. Shoutouts to Better Call Saul, which is a good show. Haven't seen season 6 yet, but yeah, really enjoying it. And this is from that, obviously, if you don't know. So Berserk Mask users telling you how increasing your speed on is worth spending 5 extra turns to heal the leper. Their entire team is on death's door. Just, it's good bait, right? Because you just want to jump in and like have opinions, because your entire team isn't usually on death's door in this situation. Like if your whole team's on death's door and you're running Berserk Mask or something like that, you got bigger issues than your trinket choice, you know. Let's see. So Berserk Mask popping up again. I guess Pepper's on the side of the Berserk Mask enjoyers. But the haters wishing there was a trinket that allowed their leopard to one-shot frontliners with a crit before they act. The one thing I will say about the crit argument, you know, we'll wait. We'll keep burying the lead. We'll talk about the trinket in a minute. We're almost done. We're just going through the memes that I pulled up here. And I like this one. I'm always a fan of tier lists, so seeing a leopard trinket tier list for no reason whatsoever, Berserk Mask at the top. The one thing I get sad about is immunity mask garbage. I like immunity mask, man. I think it's okay, but whatever. And then it's ending with apparently a poll. So they're gonna poll the subreddit, and I'll link the subreddit in the description, or I guess a comment. I'm not sure, maybe a comment, but yeah. So if you want to go check out all the memes yourself and pick a side on Berserk Mask. I don't even know what this is from. I cannot tell. This looks like an actual like gang war image in the back. But anyway, it culminates with this, apparently. This is a really good one, and just funny haha stuff. I already laughed at it, okay? So my ha-has are spent. Actually, what does this say? How to get PDGF? Nice. Good touch. Excellent touch. Well, let's see what Past Shuff had to say about Berserk Mask. This is from my own tier list video on trinkets. Hopefully it's not too loud, or hopefully it's loud enough. Let's see. Yeah. Bit of damage, so being able to block all that is really nice. This is immunity mask. The Berserk Mask, this is A, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this an A, because if I want speed with my leper, I'm bringing Jester, and I want leper to be a little bit slower so I can set him up, so I can like pull people to him or move stuff out of the way so he can hit squishier targets. So the speed isn't as helpful. And then also, if you're using Jester after you get a couple of battle ballads down, you're probably going almost first anyway, especially against frontliners. And then it's 8 crit, which is nice, but I'd rather also, you know, for an orange trinket, this thing has to run against Ancestor's Pen. It's like, would you rather have 10% damage on Leper's enormous attack stat? I would much rather have the 10% damage than the 3 speed. And then I'd rather have the 10% stress than these two together. So I think it's only 8, which is still good, but I don't know. I know people like this item. I'm not a huge fan. I was being very generous there, I guess, but my thoughts here, let's actually bring up the Reddits. Not the Reddit, the wiki. If we can look at the stats here, we can actually make an informed decision on if Berserk Mask is good or not. And it comes down to accuracy. The reason I say that is because Leper historically just doesn't hit things very well in terms of accuracy, even though he has really good damage in terms of like the flat number. But accuracy in this game is the most important damage stat. It takes precedence over speed, it takes precedence over, you know, raw damage, it takes precedence over crits and anything else. You need to be able to hit the target before you can do anything. And Leper doesn't really have great accuracies. As you see here, I'm looking at level 5, and for both these skills, and we're going to compare it to champion enemies, because I just feel like that's the best comparison. And so, Chop and Hew are at 95, which is pretty freaking low. And if we look at the common frontliners that you run into, so Cultist Brawler, most of the size 2s are usually easier to hit, so I'm not going to show a bunch of them. But, you know, we have Cultist Brawler at 21 1/4, we have size 2 Bandit at 21 1/4, Supplicant, same thing, and then Bone Soldier goes up to 22, Bone Defender 22, Chopper 22. Dogs, historically very hard to hit, up there at 37. You know, most characters have trouble hitting this. And then 22 for Scratcher, 22 for Cove, or 27 for Cove Leper, excuse me, kind of evasive. And then Pelagic Guardian is 22. So most of Leper's normal targets are around 22 dodge against your 95 accuracy, which means that your base chance to hit them is 73. But the goal is to get to 95, because the game has a hidden bonus 5% accuracy that it gives to you, so you can always hit the target just in case, even if you have, like, you know, no accuracy. And the same goes for the enemies as well. So if you get 200 dodge, you can still get hit 5% of the time. And this is not shown anywhere in the game, just something you have to figure out. And the hit cap for every character or every entity is 95 because of that. That's why you'll never see it go over 95, even if you have like 130 accuracy. Okay, so we have 73 accuracy to hit most of our normal targets with Leper, which means you have to cover 22 accuracy normally, because you want to get as high as possible to hit stuff. If you get plus 20 from 2 different trinkets, or plus 15 or something, or if you have Battle Ballad or whatever, getting it up to 90 plus is good enough. Does Berserk Mask help you get to 90 plus? No, it does not. Okay, so the only time Berserk Mask is good is if you can get over 90 accuracy, preferably up to the accuracy cap. So if you can get to 95 some way between your second trinket or Jester or quirks like Natural Swing, you know, all the better. But if you can't get there, then you shouldn't be running this. And as far as the stats go, the 8 crit is really nice because Leper has a really big damage range. And so having a big damage range means that you have more variance in how hard you're hitting. And if you can get crits consistently, you are doing your max damage, which a crit is calculated as your max damage roll plus an extra 50%. So this crit would be 39 on a target without prot. So you really want to get, you know, good crit if you can. Leper has very bad crit rates. So 7 and on Chop at max, and then neutral 0 on Hew. His base crit is also pretty bad. He only gets 5%. Some other characters get much higher. So you really want crit on this guy if you can afford it, but you need accuracy first. So if you can't get accuracy, there's no point to doing this. Also, we have stuff like Reflection that I forgot, so pretty good there. But yeah, so in terms of the other stats on Berserk Mask, the crit's nice. The speed is whatever. You know, speed's never a bad stat to have, but it's not really the selling point of this thing. The -10 virtue just doesn't matter. It straight up doesn't matter. You know, the benefit of Leper is he has Solemnity, so you have a unit with self-healing abilities and he can heal his own stress. You should be stalling anyway. If you're not stalling, then this doesn't really matter. Even if he afflicts, you can still stall and get rid of it, especially with things like Reflection that we talked about. So really, this virtue chance doesn't matter that much. The minus healing received does kind of suck, but you also have to think about a couple things. Again, he does have his own self-healing in Solemnity, which is good. It gets up to what, 10? Yeah, really good. He also has the highest HP in the game, so he can take more hits before needing healing, which is good. And most of the time your healers are running bonus healing anyway. So the minus healing isn't as big. It's the bigger detriment of the two, but it's not that big of a deal. So this string gets weird because the only super impactful stat is the 8 crit. The 3 speed is nice, but Leper's not like speed hungry, you know. But the 3 speed does let him contest most frontliners, which is cool. So he gets up to 7 speed, I believe, because he has 4 base at max. Yeah, so 4 base. So you're tied with Cultist Brawler. You're way past, you know, some of the Brigands, Supplicants, Bone Soldier, Bone Defender, even Butcher Pig. Not faster than dogs. Yeah, so he's already faster than some of his normal targets, but you can contest things like Cultist Brawler, and this is like your best matchup here. So with 7 speed, you can contest Cultist Brawler. Tie goes to the player on speed rolls, and so if you outroll this thing and crit it, you just, you know, wipe it out, which is really good. So that's like your best scenario, I guess. But overall, Berserk Mask as a trinket is mid. It's mid, all right? And it should not take precedence over any accuracy gains. So if you can get your accuracy capped in a different way, that's what you should be doing. And if you are able to get it capped, then I would say Ancestor's Pen should take priority. And then after that, maybe Berserk Mask or something else. But that is it for the discussion. Trinket's mid, memes very funny, good week of content. So if you are a Redditor, I'm sure you are pleased. And if you took it too seriously, I'm sorry. But that is it for the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.